Alright, to operate the New Home Combi DX, this is a 502. The 510 is a sister machine that was available around the same time. This machine actually came in with an ad for the 510, but I have this all threaded, and this is just a single dial, it's two controls. The dial selects all the stitches and shifts to the other machine, because this is two machines in one casing, and then the stitch length here goes from 0 to 4 and then rotates around to shift to stretch stitches. So this is a fully featured machine with a built-in manual buttonhole, well, semi-automatic buttonhole. With a buttonhole foot, you can use the left bar tack and right side buttonhole feature to make buttonholes. So it's not fully automatic, it's just an automatic. Fully automatic is when they've got the lever that fits on the buttonhole foot and it'll stop and go back to make the uniform buttonholes completely automatically. And then the single dial control has the center straight stitch, the left homing straight stitch, and the slide dial selector for zigzag. And this machine is stitching very nicely now. I've got my test swatch that I've been sewing all over with, but now it looks like I must have moved the tension dial while I was working on the other side there, but making all of its stitches very nicely. So zigzag, the triple zigzag or mending stitch, and then this is a zigzag blind hem and a partial stop for a small blind hem, and the final stitch is the, what is it, reverse blind hem? I don't remember what they call this. It's just a blind hem pointing the other way, and the key is when you shift to your stretch stitch here, it's got that feather stretch hem that it does. And the other stitches in yellow for stretch on the dial here. But and then it's got the length dial has the pink coating to go with your buttonholes to help you size your buttonhole stitches. But I'm gonna leave this set on long length center stitch here, and we'll make some stitches and leave that in the machine with the foot down, and then I'm going to shut this off with the switch on the end and unplug it because that makes turning it easier. Now with the cord out of the way, just because it makes it simpler, and I like to have the machine off because I already unplugged it. We need to shift into the I'm going to lift our needle because we have to turn our stitch dial all the way around, and to shift into the other machine we have to push the hand wheel in to release the interlock here, and then turn the dial, and that shifts the clutch in here to drive the other machine. And now that we've got our other machine selected, we can lift the lever here for the pivot, and the machine rotates in place. Then I can push the lever back, and now we're ready for the 2-thread overlock. So with the work area in place, plug it in. You'll note, and I'm going to demonstrate here, as I shift between the machines, it switches the lights. So the light on the sewing machine is off, and the light on the serger here is now on. And this machine has a little block here, and this guard is to allow you to hem more easily without needing to convert or remove the knives. So this guard here, this guard simply goes on the front screw for the needle plate, and it covers the space where the knife is, so that when you're feeding fabric in, you won't push it into the knife, and that way you can do hemming without having to remove knives or anything. But of course, if you want to trim, you can remove that guard, and the knife will then act and trim off to cut your edges as they finish. And then this is okay, but a little bit sloppy. I haven't checked the tensions on this, but it is forming the 2-thread stitch. But if I put this guard back in place, then the guard will keep the material from, or make it easier to keep from putting the material in the knife, and then you can finish an edge without trimming it. And I'm just gonna put this back in. At that time, with our guard in place, I put another stitch on there, and it didn't trim anything. So that is the side. There's also a differential feed selector under the table here, so you can get some differential feed. Or is that just our stitch length? I did not actually check the manual before I went for this. I think that was just the stitch length. Yeah, that's just the stitch length. That is where our differential feed is on a lot of these. So I was wrong with that, but much tighter stitch there. Alright, and one last thing, I'm going to shut this off. This power cord has a high-low speed switch in it. So instead of on the machine, the cord here has a high-low switch. And if I fold this to get us a new edge here, with the low switch, and then the high switch, there we go. So we definitely get two different speeds there, and able to put another stitch on there. So this is a very interesting machine, and a bit odd to see, but does both of its tasks pretty well. Now, to switch back, I'm going to unplug it, reach around the back here to get the pivot lifted, rotate it back in position, lower it, and then we can push our hand wheel in to unlock and allow us to turn the selector for the sewing machine again. So that is the basic operation of the Combi DX 502.